Welcome to the Wild Mama podcast, where today we are going to unlock the secret of patience. Patience, it's such a big topic of conversation for mamas. I hear one of the top three things for sure, that I hear from women inside motherhood that they wish they had a better grasp on, that they wish they had more of, is patience. And we're going to dive into all of this today and really understand, first and foremost, what patience is. Secondly, where does patience come from? And of course, the most desired, what we all want, is how do we utilize patience? How do we come to the place where we embody it? It's natural. We just have an overabundance of it. Patience is just overflowing from us. This all sounds really good, right? You're here for a reason, and I promise it's all going to reveal itself to you. So get comfy, get cozy, and just be open to being here with me for a moment. Patience, notice, if even now in this moment you are thinking, well, I don't have time for this. Maybe you've already seen and looked at how long this podcast is and you're thinking you don't have time, and this is the moment, this moment right here, right now, no matter what you're feeling, whether you're feeling like you have tons of patience or you don't have time for this, or you're just not quite sure, you stumbled on this episode and you're thinking there might be something here for you. Patience. Patience, patience, patience. What is patience? I didn't even bother looking up the dictionary definition for patience. As often I do, I'm very interested in language and the meaning that we put onto language. So you may already have a definition in mind of what you think patience is. Especially as a mother, we tend to really notice, on the flip side, what patience isn't. Patience isn't losing our temper with our kids. Patience isn't snapping out of anger when reactively. Patience isn't, the list goes on and on. I'm sure you know, you're here, you're listening, you're with me. You can think of probably half a dozen moments in the recent past where you were not patient. So what is patience? Patience is ease. Patience is calm. And patience is your capacity to be easy and calm and respond as you choose in any moment. Doesn't matter if it's a challenging moment or a super fun, glorious moment. Obviously, patience really comes into our forefront of our consciousness when we're bumping up against something. That's really what patience is. Patience is our capacity to choose. Because when we're being impatient, we feel like we're being squished and pushed and forced and molded and mashed. It's a very, very constricted feeling, impatience. And patience is the opposite. Patience is just, it's blissful, it's beautiful, it's easy, it's comfortable, it's empowered, it's powerful. Patience is your authority. So let's start diving into patience, I'm sure you're all just really excited to know how on earth. So we've kind of covered, what is patience. Hopefully that sounds good to you. And you may want to extrapolate a little more and get clear for yourself if some of those words don't feel right. So first and foremost, what is patience? What does it mean to you? For me, patience is, it's calm, and it's easy, and it's fluid. There's space. There's so much space in patience. And patience, without having looked up a dictionary definition, again, the way I define patience, which has been most fruitful and beneficial in my life and my experience, is your capacity, is our capacity to choose how we're going to respond versus that impatient reaction. So the next thing, I said the kind of 3 points we're going to cover here, into the magic of patience. Where does it come from? Where is this, Loch Ness monster, elusive patience? it's very much talked about like it's something that we have to find. It's something that we have to grow. It's something that we have to cultivate. It's something that comes with experience. I'm sure that you've heard all these things, and I do believe as well that they were all fairly well intentioned when they were said to you. And I do also know that none of them are true. You do not have to find it. You do not have to move through a set number or types of experiences in order to achieve it. It's not something to have, it's not something to get, it's not something to earn. You are patience. If you're willing, just close your eyes and put your hand, one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, and just settle in and relax and breathe all your air out for a moment. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. And listen again. You are patience. You are patience. It's not even something that's inside of you. I think that can sometimes be a little bit difficult to understand as well. Well, it's not out here, but I can't go buy it at a store. It doesn't exist in a box. Can't buy it on Amazon. It must be in here. And for those of us who maybe are earlier on in our spiritual journey or just haven't quite had the pieces click into place, you say, what's in here? We can also start feeling like our in here space is also something that's outside of us. It's like it's in there, but I still can't get in. Perhaps the inside space feels like a locked box for you. You say, well, I'm sure it's in there, but I still don't know how to like knock, knock, get in there. So it's not something that's in you. You are patience. Just like you are creation. You've created your children. Just like you are love. All of the things, side note, that feel amazing to you. When you're in ease and flow and bliss and pleasure and ecstasy and happiness and all freedom, these feelings that feel so good to you, they feel that way because they're your truth. They don't feel that way because you stumbled upon some happy rock and you stepped on it for a moment and it shot happiness up your leg. You aligned with an experience and allowed yourself to see, feel that the truth of who you are is aligned with that experience, and then you have this beautiful moment in your journey that just feels so glorious. It feels so fantastic because you've aligned, even for the briefest of moments, with the truth that this is you. So we're just talking about patience today, but we're going to go into a whole bunch of glorious things as well. So you are patience. That's where it comes from. It comes from you. It comes from me. We are all just a big swirling, what's the word? We are all just a big swirling, glorious tapestry. I'll go with that for now, of patience. So we have an idea what patience is. We know where it comes from. And maybe you're not quite ready to just say, well, if I am patience, then why isn't it just all happening? It's an alignment thing. So just there's many things that we are that we haven't fully expressed yet in this life. And thank God for that, because you're still here. Your journey has so much room for more expression of self, expression of your truth, expression of your magic, expression of your wisdom. This is all part of the joy of the journey. So you're here. And maybe you even feel like you've kind of sort of figured this patience thing out, but maybe you'd like to have it a little more. And remembering we're all human, we all have moments. And the moments, I promise you this, I'm going to tell you a little story as well, kind of how this came to reveal itself to me. Because really, you're sitting here or whatever you're doing, you're listening, you're starting to feel into the vibrations of my words and the magic that I'm sharing with you, and the sacred wisdom that is really pouring through this podcast. And you're starting to integrate it into your being, regardless of what you're thinking. And this integration really happens in experience. So I'm going to share with you the experience in a moment that really opened up this path for me. Because as much as the words I say make sense to you, and I hope that they do, and even if they may not now, they will soon, it really takes your own unique experience to illuminate and integrate deeply into your being. It'll integrate into your brain to a certain degree. You're here, you're listening, it's already begun to integrate, and you too will have this moment where you will feel the space open, like your physical world actually gets bigger because you have that expansion within the truth of who you are, your soul, your essence, your light, and you'll feel it. So this is how I came to really start this. It was probably about 5 years ago where it really became clear to me that there was another way here for me, and it was so much easier and it felt way better. So I think my daughter was probably around 1, and I was noticing that when she was waking in the night, I was like really reacting. I was starting. So this was, she was co-sleeping with me, and then around 1, she was just waking up to breastfeed like a lot. And it was not that she really wanted it, I don't think. It was just, it was there, and it was, so to create some distance, I wasn't sleeping directly beside her anymore, which was a big shift for me. And so when I was waking, when I would hear her, because I wasn't hearing, she wasn't as close to me, the little soft murmurs, so she was letting me know more audibly, a little louder, that she needed me. So in her, like, I need you, you're not exactly where you were before, and I need you closer, I went into like reaction mode. And I'm sure you know this when you just like, all of a sudden you're here, and there's that almost that like fear reaction of like, is everything okay? To get my hands, here she is. She's a little older than 1 now. Her 6th birthday is coming up. That reaction, and then I would just go. I would just immediately, I would go, I would move, I would get my hands on her, and I would bring her in, and she would breastfeed, and it would all really be blissful. And then, for whatever reason, the stars were in the right place. I had progressed far enough along on my journey. Who knows? I don't know how all the pieces come together. There's so much divinity at work we just trust and enjoy. And I paused for a moment, and I received, what if you just took a breath here? And it didn't come to me in those words, but for whatever reason, this is how these magical things happen. We receive the information and we act on it without the brain getting too involved, which is a great time in the middle of the night because you're up and your brain hasn't really gotten going yet. And I just received this nudge to just pause. So I did. I like physically just stopped moving and took a deep breath. I said, okay, what if I go to her without this I need to get to you reaction? What if I took a deep breath? I recognize that I'm safe, she's safe, I know she's safe. And then I came to her with this energy of, Mama is here. I've got you. Yes, my love? That's fine, baby. Over there. What would happen if that's how I showed up? And it was just one simple breath. It wasn't nearly even talking about it way more than it happened. It was just and again, little side note, I did not co-sleep with my daughter for her first 5 months. My mother was a twin, and she was sleeping next to her twin brother when he passed in his sleep when they were quite young. And the story was it was told a lot when I was younger, so I had a really big shift with my sleeping with my children. Oh, I just love them. They're all on top of me all the time. But when my daughter was born, I was very much like, I want to do the safe sleep thing because I want to do what's right for her. So around 5 months, when I realized with her that this just wasn't working for us at all. So I moved through a lot with that because it wasn't working. I brought her into bed with me, and then everything was just so easy. So from 5 months till she was over a year, I slept with her right next to me, and it was glorious. It was, again, a little bit of a, anyhow, that's a whole other podcast. Anyway, she was in her own room at this time, which was a little bit short-lived, but again, for another podcast. So I had to cross a hallway, just across the hallway to get to her room, and that's as quick as it was. I jumped out of bed, and I went to the hallway, and it was like a invisible shield had just shown up in front of me, and I stopped, took that breath, said, okay, this is how I show up. And then that old version of me who just went in there like, oh my God, is everything okay? Da, 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 and bringing all of this like anxious energy to her was gone. And I just walked in, and she was stirring a little bit, and all I did is I just put my hand on her sweet little chest, and I took a deep breath, and she just settled and went right back to sleep. It was miraculous. It was just one of those, it was just one of those beautiful divine moments. And I stayed there with her with my hand, and I just felt her little chest just rising and falling, just like listening to the sound of her breath and feeling the warmth of her under my hand. And it was glorious, and it was so freaking powerful, because that's just not how it had gone before. For her first 5 months, she was sleeping in my room, but it was still getting like up and out into like her bassinet to tend to her, and then going back to that, it kind of brought up a lot of that. It just brought up a lot of stuff. The whole, when we make powerful choices, it brings up a lot. So that was the moment that really illuminated to me, well, I really have a choice here, and how powerful my choices are, and how beneficial and beautiful the impact can be for, well, now my children. I have a son now as well, my daughter just at the time. How powerful and beautifully impactful my choices are for them. I knew at that time, even 5 years ago, how energetically, our chakra systems are basically our children's at that age. They're not separate from us. They are us. And from my understanding, that the separation doesn't really happen until they're like 7 or 8 years old. I'm interested to learn more about that, but if anybody has any more information on that, feel free to let me know. As of now, I will speak very confidently from my own experience with the energy work, and I'm diving in deeper and deeper every day into more energy work, specifically with my children. We are one and the same. And I think that separation really comes into play here with our ability to be patient with our children. We have these concepts in the larger vision of the world that, we are all one, and we all come from the same source, God, spirit, and we all go back there, like we are one. But somehow our children, the ones we actually create, like from our own flesh and birth through our bodies, they're separate from us. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I feel that, I know that, like the deep wisdom and the sacred ancestors who are here with me, just guiding me and speaking this wisdom, we are one and the same. And it's such a sacred, beautiful, like this is the pillar, the foundation, the strongest component at the core of everything that I speak into this world, everything that I embody as a mother, everything that I am as a woman, is the sanctity, the purity, the freaking magic of this connection with our children. We are not separate at all. I hadn't really planned for that side tangent, but there it was. So this is all this is all coming into how do we tap into, how do we tune into, how do we really tend to and nurture this patience that we are. Well, it takes a couple of beliefs. I'm going to offer to you now, of course, for you to like breathe in, sip in, and allow this to land in alignment with your truth, because I promise you it's true. There's not a single person that will listen to this or come across me ever this is not true from. I know that. I know it. I'm drinking loose leaf tea here, and it's so good. I love to drink it this way, but get a lot of the tea in your mouth. Okay. Number 1, belief. So 3 beliefs here that are really going to help build the foundation for you to begin to embody that you are the patience that you desire. I am the creator of my experience. Again, feel free to close your eyes, put a hand on heart and chest, and just breathe, relax, and breathe, sip, try this on. I am the creator of my experience. Everything that you experience, everything you touch and taste and see and smell and hear and all of it. You are the creator. So much power in that. That could be a whole podcast episode right there. And 2, I am in control of my emotions. I am in control of my emotions. And then 3rd, I am able to adjust the way I feel. 3 super powerful. Maybe you don't believe them right now. Feel free to, shoot me a message or pop in the comments here how those land with you. How do they feel for you when you hear those 3 statements? I am the creator of my experience. I am in control of my emotions. I am able to adjust the way I feel. Does it feel like truth? Does it feel like God, Spirit is just flowing through you in the most magical way? Or does it feel like maybe the lady who's speaking these words to me is like gone a little loco? I'm not sure. Some variance of degree in between there as well. Just notice. Just notice how all of those things land, because I promise you, I know this to be true. Those are all true. You are the creator of your experience. You are in control of your emotions, and you are able to adjust the way that you feel. So how really is this all possible? 1, bring these beliefs into your being, try them on, and if they don't feel like they align, figure out what's getting in the way, because they are. So they're coming here like this. There's these new beliefs, and here's you, and they're trying to get together, but something, I'll just use this here right now, this little pen, it's like getting in the way. I don't know why I feel the need to do these things, but something's getting in the way. And if something is in the way, if it's not feeling aligned, if it doesn't feel true to you, something is in the way. We just got to get in there and clean it up, which is possible. Again, comment, shoot me a message. This is my jam. So how do we actually integrate this? How? How do we do this? This all sounds great. I want to be the patient. I want to live in this space of conscious choice and empowered decision making with my children. This is the secret. Like, this is the key right here. And I already mentioned it. I just didn't highlight it with this much. Like, this is it. It's so big, and it's also so small. And it's so simple. You pause. You pause. It's simple, it's elegant, it's graceful, and it's freaking divine perfection, I tell you that. All you have to do is pause. This requires practice, commitment, and dedication to the knowing that I am in control of my experience. I am the creator of my experience. I am in control of my emotions, and I have the ability and capacity to adjust the way that I feel. Those 3 beliefs. So this isn't just you heard them once and, okay, I believe these things, I'm going to move forward. It's going to be really easy to pause. It's not always easy to pause. Once you practice, the easier it gets, the more fluid it gets, the easier it gets, the more fluid it gets, and that's it. The secret, the beautiful secret inside unlocking unlimited patience really is pause. Pause, pause, pause. Take your pause. So what does a pause look like? It looks like a breath. It looks like a sip of your tea. Before I go any further, there is a key component as well to the pause. The pause is not a runaway. The pause is not a go hide in the closet. The pause is not go run outside. And allow yourself these moments if you know you're going to lose control and you need to take your space. Sure, allow yourself that space, but that's not what this is. That's not cultivating patience. That's cultivating and practicing escaping and running and hiding. And again, all fine. These things are all part of our journey in getting us to the path of patience, which is you, which is your truth. Be in space with your children. And you can practice this with your husband and with anybody else in your life that you want here, but it applies anywhere else, yes, but with your children. You want to be patient with your kids, you got to practice being patient with your kids. That means taking the pause. It means shutting your mouth, literally, shut your mouth, close your eyes, be still in your body, and then breathe. And until you are 1000% crystal clear that you are ready to make a conscious, empowered choice from a space of truth, wisdom, calm, grounded clarity, you don't do anything. You don't move. You don't speak. You just don't do it. You stay in the pause. And the pause may be very long. So be prepared for silence. And also be prepared to be delighted by how beautifully your children will react to this. Because you probably be in your head already, and I've heard this from some women before, that, well, I can't do that because my kids are going to da-da-da-da. Well, let them. Let them speak. Let them ask questions. If there is one thing that you say, if you have the capacity to say it, is, I'm taking a pause here for me so I can show up my best for you. I am taking a pause here for me so I can show up as my best self for you. And my children always, I mean, it was my daughter, definitely my practice was far more with her, and learning to allow myself to be the patience that I am. She responded very beautifully to all of this. She really did. She wanted to be with me. Children never want us to run away from them. Never, ever, ever, And we don't want to. That's a whole other thing. You can check out my previous podcast about that a little bit more. How beautifully she would come to me. We would sit, and then we would be together. And she would hold me, and I would hold her, and we would breathe together, and we find that which we truly want, which is the connection, is the beauty of our lives together. We had these children to integrate into the creation of the expansion of the growth of our families into more love, more bliss, more happiness, more everything that we want. That's what our children are for. They are not here to inhibit us or deter us or prevent us from doing anything. They are here for the total opposite, to unleash our expansion. They're phenomenal. They are phenomenal. And you are as well. So inside that pause, notice your reactions. Notice if you want to I gotta get up and do something. I have to, if I don't move, then I can't make this flow. Just you have to notice first. It's so crucial to notice what's going on inside your body, inside your brain, inside your being. All of these four facets, your physical reaction, your mental reaction, your emotional reaction, your spiritual reaction. There's so many reactions going on, and they're pew, 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 firing off so quickly. And if we don't take that pause, we don't offer ourselves the opportunity to really learn that which is here for us. So once you find that calm, centered breath, well, there is your foundation to choose from. There's your patience, there's your calm, there's your strength, there's your stability, there's your ease, there's everything. There's you. You were there in that moment. So be prepared for the silence and allow it to be long. The depth of beauty in this, when we choose to move through these experiences and learn all of this in space with our children, is they're learning it too. They are learning it too. My daughter is one of the most patient. She's so unbelievably patient. And she can be impatient from time to time. We all are, because we're all not just one thing, we're everything. She can be impatient as well. And at not even 6 years old, her capacity to hold space in silence, to hold space to feel her own emotions, for her to hold space for others to feel their emotions. For me, for her baby brother now, for her father, it's remarkable. And she has seen that in me. I haven't taught her a different way. I didn't necessarily teach her all of this, because she is patient, as you are, and as I am, as your children are. What they learn from us, unfortunately, is impatience. And them seeing us be impatient smothers their natural truth that they are also patient. So we need to be just so mindful and really precious and tender in our understanding that this is sacred. This isn't just a hustle bustle, get through the day, yeah, I snapped, I'll apologize for it. These are the moments where our children are watching, they're learning in their experience, and they're figuring it all out with us. And if they see us say, well, mommy got impatient and she went to the closet and she cried there for a little bit, is that what you want for your children, to grow up and be those adults who are afraid to express themselves in front of other people and are all the things that are in your head right now? Like, do you want this for your children? I don't. And if you don't, then you gotta stop it. And if you're not really sure how to break the cycle as well, check out my last episode on how to break that cycle. You are worth it, and your children are worth it. And it is that simple. It doesn't mean it's always going to be easy, but you must do this first with yourself. You must learn to be patient with yourself before you can expect to be patient with your kids. So notice where, again, you're being impatient with yourself and when you push it down. So all those little moments when you're thinking, I should have gotten that done today. I can't believe I didn't do that. I should have done this. I have to do this. All those should haves and have tos, those are impatience, and they're all with you in terms of whether how you keep your house, or what your to-do list looks like, or your chore list, or your garden, or your pantry, or your laundry, or any of it, all the things. If you're saying I should have done that and I have to do that, that's all impatience, and that's all impatience with you. And again, your children are learning this from you, and it comes in a bounty. There's so much should haves and have tos inside motherhood that we can just abolish, we can just get rid of. You have the power to do this. So I highly encourage you, and my invitation here is for you to do it. So notice in yourself when you're impatient with yourself. They're going to be impatient with themselves like that. And I see it in my daughter as well, because I learned this. I learned to really recognize this in myself alongside her. I can see so clearly where her moments of impatience come up, and I can also see so clearly that she learned that from me. And it's okay. We just begin to be willing, dedicated, and committed to the truth that we are the creators of our experience, that we are in control of our emotions, and we have the ability to adjust. We take pause. When we feel that reaction, when we're going to say something, do something, and regret it and wish we hadn't, stop it. And you're going to miss. You're going to miss the first few times, maybe more than a few times. It's just going to fly out of your mouth and you're not going to be able to catch it. Or, you get my drift. And it's okay. You're practicing. And then all of a sudden one day you're, I caught that. Okay. But now you're in this moment. And everybody's quiet. Or your kids are just looking at you. And you're like, okay, what do I do next? Taking the pause. Well, you breathe. And you keep breathing. And if they ask you, like, Mama, what are you doing? Say, I'm taking a pause for me, so I can show up as my best self for you. Or whatever language might feel good for you, but that feels pretty delicious for me. That's why I keep sharing it. So pause is the key. If you feel like the world of patience is out there somewhere, and if only you had the key to unlock it, I'm telling you, this is the key. It's pause. And inside that pause is where all of the magic happens. And I invite you as well to share with me your experiences as you try this on and you practice it and you integrate it. Notice those first few times that you miss, and celebrate those first few times that you miss when you snap out, or maybe you throw Tupperware across the kitchen like I have done. Whatever it is, just notice it and celebrate yourself that you noticed it. Okay, next time I'm going to notice it a little bit sooner. Next time I'm going to catch it. And maybe you don't. Maybe next time I'll catch it. And then you will catch it. And then you'll pause and you'll be in it. And then you can celebrate these beautiful experiences that you have. Whatever they are, they're going to be uniquely yours. It's all bringing you back. Just bringing you so solely back to the truth that you are patience. And inside motherhood, patience also is such a beautiful doorway to open you up to an abundance, an unlimited supply of gifts that motherhood has to offer as well. And more to come on all of those in podcasts upcoming. So I'd love to hear from you, how this landed for you, where you're at with your patience right now. Maybe there's something particular that is sticking for you. Maybe it's always one thing that comes up. Say, I've got patience. I'm starting to see it unfold in other areas of my life, but this one area I just can't seem to be patient with. There's endless support here for you. There is endless love here for you. And let me know. Drop in the comments. Shoot me a message. follow along, like this video, share it with your friends, mamas out there. There are so many mothers out there struggling, and it need not be that way. The calling is here. We are coming home to our truth. We are reclaiming our sacred rights as mothers to be in control of ourselves and our children, to be that full authority, to heal and to restore motherhood to what it is meant to be, which is a naturally organic, in its essence, beautiful, easy, blissful, and supremely joyous and satisfying state. Motherhood is your magic, and everything you desire to have is found inside. I love you so much. Until next time, this has been Angel Rockwell here at the Wild Mama Podcast, and I cannot wait to be inside here with you again. Mwah.